This is definitely like the comeback. We back 2022. My man got the fire shirt on.
You
Super
know what I mean?
Saiyan Rose.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Copy. Does it get
Yes.
flyer than you, sir?
I'm Super Saiyan God when it comes to these reviews, and I'm ready to tackle a whole bunch of stuff.
So
It
excited. Give you a
happens.
chance. We're back 2022. I'm excited. We're excited to see you. We're gonna talk about a lot, man. Your chance. Say what's up to the folks, man.
What's going on, guys? I know it's been a while. We apologize. Yeah, I understand that life happens, and
Life
you
happens.
know what I mean. So we ain't really got no excuse. It's just we have going through some shit, but that doesn't matter.
We back like we never left, man. We
Oh
back
yeah,
like
like
we
we
never
never left.
left.
A lot has happened since our last video. A lot of movies have dropped. A lot of shows have dropped. So we're gonna tackle a couple of those things, and we have our deep feelings towards what we feel,
Hold
and a
on.
lot of excitement.
That's a fact. Yeah. Shout out to all the parents out there watching. I'm over here. My man over there. We over here doing what we gotta do with the parents and all that. Um, still rocking, still making dope content for you. Still talking about the updates and whatnot. So let's just get into it, man, because
Yeah.
it's been a couple weeks. It's been what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks since Spider-Man dropped. You have had to have seen it by now.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you haven't seen it, I'm usually, I'm usually the one who says like don't spoil it for them, and Gruel's usually the one that says fuck that. You know what I mean?
Don't care about that.
However, if you haven't seen it by now, I'm gonna have to agree with Guru on this one. We don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's been a little too long
I'm gonna
now.
put the banner. I don't know what to tell you up there because that's right. It's been too
Yeah,
long. Listen, man, go right into it. What did you like? How'd you feel?
man, listen, you lucky I want to go put on my Spider-Man costume right now. That's how I feel. Like that's where I'm at. Spider-Man was so amazing. Like, oh man, I feel like a fanboy. Like I went in that movie theater. Just I didn't know what to expect. For the most part, I stayed away from spoilers. Obviously, there was a couple of rumors that we tried to duck and dodge. Everybody did, but deep down, we knew what we were getting into. But it's nothing like actually like living through it.
That's a fact.
Actually sitting in that theater, and depending on your crowd, my crowd was actually pretty cool. I didn't, I actually walked in there. I was wearing my Venom shirt, and I seen a couple of
Something like
people.
something
Yeah,
like
something like Chance does the shirt things. I walked in there and I seen people dressed up as Spider Man and Doctor Strange and different variations of Spider Man, and that already had. I was already hyped. They already won. They were taking pictures, and I jumped in the picture. So
yeah. We all fan. We Spidey fam in here.
right. I think Spider-Man brought us all together that day. I didn't care that they were, who they rep, what kind of fanboy it was, like who they were, what age they were. It didn't matter. We all were here to see the same thing. It was a beautiful movie. This was definitely top two Marvel movie to me. Top two. I'm pushing it
I'm
up
gonna say
there.
it's the top. It's the best superhero movie ever made.
I agree.
And I'm gonna
I
say
agree.
that. You know why I say that, sir? I'll say that because what they have been able to accomplish by putting together movies that, you know what I mean? Like, we've had a bunch of Batmans. To see different properties come together and then a whole different property fix the
It
errors of,
just
of those properties and kind of like tie them up in a bow tie, and
it,
it's
it
something
just
you never
goes
seen
to
before.
show the power they have if they just work together. Like, a lot of
Teamwork, yeah,
companies,
all those
yeah,
things.
teamwork. Y'all literally came together and gave us exactly what we asked for. It made millions doing it. You know what I mean? Why did it take y'all so long to do that? Like, all y'all had to do was give us the three Spider-Man we grew up in one movie. And y'all heard us. Y'all listen. Sony, you listen to us. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you. If you see
Thank
this, Sony, if it
you,
ever gets out, Sony, I
Sony
appreciate you.
Marvel, yo.
Sony, Marvel, thank you.
That's a fact.
I wish that Stan Lee could have been around just to see the artwork you guys put together in this man's name. That is amazing what you guys did. The movie was amazing. I'm so glad that they got everybody to be on board. I mean, they could the other option, if everything didn't work out, their plan B was to fall back on Craven the Hunter. Not saying that wouldn't have been a good movie, but it would have been nowhere near what y'all gave us. So,
Yeah, it wouldn't have been nowhere near in comparison. And it's like,
right.
everything happens for a reason. It works out. I feel
Hmm.
like, and they were saying, like, mind you, you had these guys signing their contracts a couple years back. Like, they already knew they was going to be so, right. So it's like, even back then, there was a plan to put them together. And even back then, they must have thought to themselves, you know what, this is a crazy opportunity to bring back
Hmm.
these characters that people love and kind of like bring a full circle. You know what I mean? Teach a new era of Spider-Man lovers and this new Spider-Man to be dope. You know what I mean? To be yourself, to
Yes.
be better. You know what I mean? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you're a lover of Spider-Man and a lover of like those previous installments, to see
Mm-hmm.
it all come back, it's just I can't even a movie has not done that. So that was dope.
From when you first sit down and the movie starts up exactly where it left off in the last movie. So you already dealing with the excitement of like, oh snap, the whole world knows who he is. So they just drive you through that. It's nothing. It's already excitement. They put the throw that you literally from the credits they start with the news report of Peter Parker being Spider-Man. So you're
Right.
already
They
from the
throw you right
moment you
in.
sit down,
And what you
throw
just
you
said
right in.
too is like when they throw you right in, they pick right up off of the villains too. Like as soon as Doc Ock was there, it was like as soon as it was almost like he
Right.
got ripped right when he was saying that, right? Like where's
Right.
right? Like
They didn't
the
even know they were
power,
dead. They
right?
didn't know they
The
died
power of my
until they were
hand.
reminded. You know what I mean? So it was like, and then once you have them go through that, and then like you said, the next action sequence was, Doc Ock, or they gave you a little hint of Green Goblin. They transitioned to him talking to Doctor
Fire.
Strange. It's just in the way they culminated all those villains together to the point where he invited them over to Happy's house. Now you have all these super villains that we all grew up in being in these big time movies and went to the theaters to see. They all together in this room, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Like
I'm feeling
it's crazy to me.
chills.
Like I feel,
So it was good.
I'm turning into a fanboy. I really am. Just having them all in a room and seeing these personalities that we already learned clash together and talk. GC and Jamie Foxx's Electro, seeing Doc Ock, what's his name? I should know his name.
And
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina, yeah, there you go.
There we
There you
go.
go. Shouts to you.
So yeah, thank you. So yeah, seeing them just come together, and then William Defoe's character, and just all of them just
Yeah,
speaking the
Willem Dafoe
same
was
room.
amazing. Willem Dafoe,
William,
you know what? And I want to just say this as well, like just how they, the service of those in service of those movies, they did something great too. It wasn't just like, okay, let's make sure that we knock our own movie in our own, trilogy frame out. Like
mm-hmm,
the way that, now that people are accepting of like metaverses
mm-hmm,
and maybe like time travel plots, like, with Endgame,
mm-hmm,
like the way we're accepting of seeing like different variation of a character now, it's like it will
mm-hmm.
allow us to see more stories like that, which
Yes,
is dope too. Because if people weren't accepting seeing a bunch of Spider-Man, I mean, at one point it wouldn't have worked at all. But it's like, yeah, because we had already
right,
this love and appreciation, it was already that appreciation for those two characters already,
right,
right? Like it's like, like if they ever make another Wolverine, you
mm-hmm,
best be damned if you get the first
right,
Wolverine up in there. It's like, okay, say
right,
less. Like somehow
right,
get him to do something with him, right?
mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But even piggybacking off of that, like the fact that it not only does it give so many opportunities because they did this with the variations, you we could talk about now Andrew Garfield's redemption. You had Andrew Garfield, who was an amazing actor, by the way, but he
Yeah,
was put in what a lot of people think of as a mediocre Spider-Man movie, specifically the second
it
one.
was
It was.
mediocre.
You know what? I just watched it literally 2 days ago just to kind of rehash and get my memory back on what's going on. It wasn't a horrible movie. It wasn't the worst to me. It was the writing, the way they
Yeah,
planned everything out.
I
And
mean it's always the writing, but some of the style too, like making Jamie Foxx's character the way he was, and
it was the thing with the closing the
Rhino was,
gap in the teeth. It straightened his teeth with electricity. It was just, yeah, I didn't make a lot of good
like,
decisions in that.
I don't know what I would call it. They definitely tried to mash a lot into
Hmm.
that second one, right? In
Yeah.
place, like it almost felt like Sony's always been trying to push for that. What is it, the Sinister Six movie? Like, let's just get to
Yeah.
that Sinister Six. Like, let's just get the Sinister. Yep. So it's like let's slow down and actually build good movies. Like what I think what Tom Holland's three movies did well, uh, basically was the framework of like, okay, we know who this guy is.
Hmm.
We're not going to give you a movie of an origin story. Like
Hmm.
all three of those movies were his origin story in a way. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now it's like with the next three, we'll see him actually be. Now it'll take off. It's almost as if like if they were the same Spider-Man, you could see like the Marvel three, and then see like the uh, what's my man that played him first? Sorry, I forgot. Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire.
So, you know what I mean? Because it kind of next time we see our Peter Parker now, Tom Holland Peter Parker, he'll be kind of where Toby is. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
It grounded him.
Going
By
to
the by
college
the
and
by the
making
end of the
his
movie, he
own.
was more grounded. He wasn't backed by the MCU and all its Avengers and all its characters. Now he's literally in a place where Toby and Andrew had to come from. Now he has to
Right.
stand on his own leg. You
Right.
are now your own Spider-Man with no help from the Avengers. You're not Spider-Man 4 will essentially be just you.
Right. Right. And that's
Yeah,
fire. And now you
it
can do
is.
Craven the Hunter. Now
Now
you
you
can
could do
save him
Craven the
for the
Hunter.
first, yeah, which is gonna be
Or
dope.
even Felicia Hardy. You could do Black Cat now. This is a perfect time to do the Black Cat story.
Right. He needed
You have now
redemption.
erased MJ from his. She don't know who he is. Now you can. Now you have to move on. You have no choice but to move
I
on.
think they either gonna do her or Gwen Stacy.
You could do Gwen Stacy, but I think
Because they want
something
to do a Spider. They're either doing a Spider Gwen or a Spider Woman movie.
But
So
I feel like that'll be. They should give that to Andrew. His Gwen is already gone. So how dope would it be to bring back a Gwen from another universe who is already essentially Spider Gwen, who lost her Peter Parker in her
and
universe?
bring them together.
Why not? Why not? He lost his Gwen. She
Because then
lost her Peter.
it cheapens what he went through.
Does it? Because he's still not the. It's still not the his Gwen.
I mean, they could be friends.
That's
Yeah,
almost like listen.
they
That's
can't be
almost like,
together.
and not to get super dark, but that's like people with mad kids and you lose one, so you try to have another one to. Well, not mad kids. You have one kid, you lose that kid, and try to have another one. So now it's supposed to fill that void. No, you still lost that first kid. I ain't mean to get so dark, but it's just
You're right. That was dark, but I get what you're saying. Like
right. Like it doesn't
to feel the
feel that.
loss,
Yeah.
but the loss is unfillable. If we're gonna get into like a deep spiritual, that type of loss is unfillable, and that's why we have
Right.
people be so fucked up and depressed in a way, because we trying to fill the void with drugs and with substitutions, with bad media, with bad
Mm,
music, with other people that don't have good intentions for you. But
right.
that hole is unfillable. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like when you start labeling yourself as broken, it's like, no, you're just gonna be broken. But we're not broken. We a collage of pieces. We are put together like, you know what I mean, like a mosaic. So it's like, yeah,
Right.
we
But
kintsugi, man. Kintsugi is like the Japanese art where they break shit and then they put the gold back together to put it back together. Like
right.
we're not
Right.
broken. Like you stem with gold. You know what I'm saying? We stem
Right.
seated with you know what I'm saying, with diamonds and gems. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. You got something to say?
No, I was gonna say that like I just think that for Andrew, because it's also we also haven't spoke about how his performance in the movie was
Right. So I mean,
amazing.
listen, it was fantastic. I feel like he was my favorite Spider-Man in the movie. Like I
He was
already
my
knew that
favorite
this nigga
Spider-Man
was
in the
Tom
movie.
Holland,
That's a
right?
my first of all, shout out to Tom Holland. Tom Holland did his thing from the emotion, from the he did his thing.
He
Let's
did.
not.
He
I'm
did.
not taking nothing away from Tom Holland. The only reason why I say Andrew Garfield was my favorite Spider-Man in that particular movie because of his redemption arc and the attention to detail they gave to fill his character arc. The
Right.
fact that you had him save MJ and had after he caught her and the emotion in his face when he asked if she was okay and she confirmed that she was and
Right.
she had to ask him, "Are you okay?" And that whole scene was gold.
I felt that.
I
I felt that. Real one
felt that.
felt that,
I
son.
felt it. I was
Cause
like,
like
yo,
cause I want to just see a
wow.
whole movie of him having to deal with that pain,
The
that grief.
darkness.
Because
Yes.
that like my favorite thing to think about is like a spider is dumb strong, bro. A spider could pick up like 100 times
Yeah.
his weight or something. So a Spider-Man would be able to punch your head off. Like Spider-Man be pulling his punches, they say in the comic book. Like
He
so like
he does.
if he went off the deep end and was like just like at the very end, Tom Holland went off the deep end.
Showed
If
what he
he
could
would have
was
went off the
capable of.
deep end and
Yes.
started punching people's heads, I would like to see that.
Did you
You know what
not
I'm saying?
notice when Tom Holland jumped in the air and tried to punch Green Goblin and he moved out the way? He put his whole fist through the ground.
Right.
That's
The
just
metal, right. So
it's
it's
a
like
metal. That's attention to detail that people don't understand. It. Spider-Man's strength is unheard of. I mean, you kind of got like a small variation of it when Andrew Garfield caught the car and made the Spider-Man 2 when the car and he kind of just caught it. Like
yeah,
Spider-Man is strong.
he's very strong.
And
A
he
regular
punched
person. Like, you
yeah,
know what
like
made me
he
laugh too? In the very beginning of the movie, the person like, oh, he pushed me. They was trying to like, they was like trying to get.
right.
First of all, if I said immediately, I was like, yo, if your man pushed you, you
For
would have went
real?
flying, regular person. So that's what
Right.
made me laugh too. Like they had to have known, like, let's slide this joke in, because that's how people think. Like
Right.
people start trying to make you the enemy. They start trying to
Right.
tag you for things you ain't do. Like, oh, he
Right.
pushed me. He ain't push you. You'd have went flying. Like, so
Right.
yeah, like, you know what? The world they built especially MCU, like the world they've built is very solid.
Yes.
The performance of Tom Holland, all the Spider-Man, all the main cast of like the Marvel people. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? My man Daredevil. We ain't talking about my man Daredevil came in there.
Matt Murdock. Yeah,
You
that
know what I mean?
that scene was a great entry scene. Like, cause
You
it
know
that
what?
was
Let
a
me say this, sir, real fast, because I've been watching the actual Netflix Daredevil, and
mhm.
that is the best Marvel show ever made.
Absolutely.
That's the best.
No
It's just,
argument.
bro, it's just so. And you know what? Every time I watch a good bloody fight in that show, I'm like, yeah, Marvel's never gonna do that. Marvel's never gonna do that. It's never gonna get
Right.
that bad in Marvel because it's just listen. We know what type of it's Disney. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but you know what? They have to listen. We already know that Daredevil's in MCU now. We already know that if he's
Deadpool's
there, that
coming.
means Kingpin's there, right? Kingpin, we saw him in the show.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you say that stuff in the Netflix happened somewhere somehow because otherwise it's like they look weak.
It's like you're watering down
They look
the
watered
character.
down. Like
Yeah.
Kingpin is a Kingpin in the Arrow. I mean the Arrow show. And Hawkeye
Hawkeye.
was okay. It's an Arrow. He was okay, but he was not Kingpin in this joint in the Netflix
Absolutely
joint.
not. There's no way that Kate Bishop could have beat Kingpin in 20 minutes when Daredevil took 3 seasons to beat him.
Now, I mean, listen, he did take a huge. That was a quite a big bomb explosion joint. The Arrow. That was crazy.
It was
Um,
crazy. It was, but worse has happened to this man in a regular series. Kingpin, you can't really. This man Kingpin in the Daredevil series was a beast.
He was a beast, yo.
This is not
And
the
he
same beast.
and it's like they was playing with his name in the show because like, yeah, okay, the track. I get what they was doing with the idea, and then we came back from the comics, or whatever. Tracksuit Mafia, we doing that. But it's like,
Hmm.
yo, Kingpin runs he runs all of New York. Like, you see how deep his hand go in
Yeah.
the show, like police,
Hmm.
politicians,
Hmm.
DA, like
Hmm.
it just like we said, like not on purpose. It is what it is, but they might inadvertently water those characters down because you're not gonna be able to bring all that blood and gore over here. That's why
So then
Blade's not gonna be rated R,
that
right? It's gonna
sucks.
be
I ain't gonna lie, that hurts, but whatever.
that hurts, bro.
Um, but then did you hear that Deadpool is supposed to be in MCU?
Right, and they might keep that rated R, I think.
So
So there's hope that if they wise enough, they got enough time. Make Blade rated R, man. Stop playing.
they could, if
I don't
they
think they're
made
gonna do it
Blade,
because they want to. I feel like they're gonna use Blade to open up a bunch of other stuff. We're talking about vampires.
they
We're talking
literally,
about.
yeah,
So I feel like they're gonna use that to bring up. You got vampires. You got stuff like my man oh man, I'm forgetting now. But you got a lot of like those type of like magician, sorcerer,
so
underworld type of characters and figures. Like that could be their entry point with the Black Knight.
the
Is that his name?
problem is, yeah, it's Black Knight, but
Black
the
Knight.
problem is you can't connect a PG-13 movie with a rated R movie. You can't use
It's
a
hard
rated,
to, yeah.
yeah, like imagine using Blade's rated R Blade movie to open up a bunch of other PG-13 movies because
That's what right. They're not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
it's not
It's
gonna
not gonna happen.
happen. You can't have all these bloody things happen and all the cursing and all that, and then the next movie, there's no blood and nobody curses.
All right. All I ask for from Blade is that they have Wesley Snipes in there somewhere. Let him be an elder vampire who's
Let
kissing
me
her or
just
something.
give
That's all
flowers.
I ask.
I want to give flowers when they do. Wesley Snipes Blade was fire to me.
Fire. Listen, that
I
opened up. If you think about it, that was like the start of all of this. Really, really. And then
honestly,
people like
before
really.
Iron Man came along, he's the one who like pushed them to say, you know what, this is working. I mean, I'm not including the third movie, Blade Trinity. We're not going to talk about that one.
Yeah, we're not
But
doing that. And that had
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds in it.
it sure did. It sure did. And
Listen, Ryan Reynolds is in a couple not so good movies, but his track
Dead,
record is picking up though.
yeah, it is. Deadpool was his super redemption. I feel like, especially because not the first Deadpool, by the way. We all know
He been
that.
putting in work for that, like 10 years. He's been trying to push that. So
And that's why it's so good because he's actually been pushing this character. Deadpool has been his. He's
yeah.
made Deadpool like his
And I
for
don't
a
even
long
see
time.
somebody else being Deadpool. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
No, he
he
can't.
owns that. He owns
He's
that character in the sense of he owned it. Yeah, he owned the performance. Yeah.
he's as synonymous with Deadpool as Hugh Jackman is with Wolverine.
Yeah. I can't. I don't see nobody else stepping
No.
into that.
Even
We
with
about to get
Iron Man,
another. We gonna get another. Because you know what? I think they're gonna push for Secret Wars faster. Like now they see that people like, oh, we're really excited about this whole
yeah,
multiverse thing. Like we might get a new. We might get a bunch of Spider Iron Man. Oh, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Might get a bunch of Captain. Not Captain. Black Panther. They might start showing us multiverses, right? You
like different
see,
variations.
right? You got Doctor Strange and look crazy evil Strange. So it's like we might start seeing even more of that.
It's like we said in a previous review. Like the fact that you open this door to multiverse is now you created an exciting future for all Marvel property. You can
Right.
literally at this point play around with whatever you. The whole Marvel's and the whole MCU is now a what if.
Right. And it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy because they made that knowing they made that knowing they was teeing that up. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just dope because if we can accept that, you know what, this is a person just playing a role, and that there's a lot of good stories where we can show you two of those roles at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, because like even think about once they get Fantastic Four together, like the Council of Reeds, that'll be fire. Like we'll never get. I mean, you know what? Now that they have the idea of opening this world up to metaverse, now the metaverse. Shouts to the metaverse, crypto. You see where
Metaverse.
my mind's at? No, the multiverse. We can possibly get like the Illuminati because we don't have a Professor X right now, but
No.
maybe in another reality. What I mean, X-Men are coming, right? Right now, rest in peace. We don't have a Black Panther, but in another reality, they get a Black Panther. They can get the
You,
pieces they need from every reality, just like What If.
you know what? I'm going to say something a little bit controversial. I feel like, as far as Black Panther, nobody can fill those shoes. Obviously, R.I.P. Chadwick,
Right?
Boseman.
Yeah.
However,
Talk to me.
it's time. We have to. We
I
have
was gonna
to.
say this. In our reality, there can never be another Black Panther T'Challa. He's gone.
No,
But if
that's.
you want to say, yeah, it's Secret Wars, and this he's from another dimension. This one, and in this, you know what I mean? Whatever. I'll go with the
I'll
story.
take that.
Yeah.
Yes.
If the story is good, and you're saying just like there's a bunch of Lokis, that this is
Right.
another variant, like in his reality, he's.
What if in a different reality, Michael B. Jordan was actually Black Panther?
I'll take that.
I'll take that
But
too.
you have to say it's another reality. You can't just say Black Panther 2 starring. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
jacking that. You feel me?
that's not what I will not accept that.
Yeah, I won't accept it either. I'm
Let's
not
make
jacking
that
that.
clear. Do not hire another actor
You
and
can't
call him
recast him for
T'Challa.
the same
No,
MCU
you
313, whatever reality
right.
we're in.
You cannot do that. No, that's
616.
unacceptable.
Yeah, there's no
Don't
other Black
pull
Panther for this.
don't
In
do what you
fact,
did
the
with
only way
Terrence
for me,
Howard in don't do what you did with Terrence Howard in Don
well,
Cheadle. Don't do
listen,
that. That's
they
different. I
made the
know.
right choice. Let me
They
say
did.
this: they made the right choice.
They
Okay,
did.
that's
They
all I can
did.
say. Sometimes, and you know what? Too, listen, yeah, don't do that. But also, it's like I feel like they have a lot more to lose now. Before, it's like that was like the first movie, right?
Yeah.
Bro, that was
Yeah.
the
It was
first
the first
Iron Man they
Iron
did
Man.
that in, right? That was the first. They was like, listen, whatever, you right?
It happened
So
early, so yeah, knock it out the way. All
I
right,
feel like, yeah, bro, yeah.
if he's
I feel
gonna
like
do
there was
this,
no
now's a
leverage in
good
it yet.
time, huh?
But I no, I was gonna say, I feel like there was no leverage in it yet. Like that was the first movie. He might have been like, I need some more money, or I'm not doing it again if y'all do this. And they like, nah, we don't have that leverage yet. Like, but now
Yeah,
it's like, listen, people be lucky to get in that door.
right,
So,
right.
um,
I bet you if Terrence could go back, he'll probably change his mind. Like,
Terrence, no, Terrence
yeah,
is
like
you gotta see what type of stuff Terrence on. He was talking all type of crazy stuff recently. Not crazy,
uh,
but just like he on a different type of time. But this is what I want to say too as well, like with the Black Panther thing. Yeah, I'm with that. The only way I see them continuing that role for me in this, the 616 is like give it to his sister. Let the sister be Black Panther. Because that's happening in the comic books. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with that.
okay.
But yeah, I don't want to see, Killmonger's gone. And so I don't want to see that.
I mean, if like I said, if in a different universe where it will make sense story wise as well, instead of in a what if situation, instead of Chadwick becoming I'm saying T'Challa becoming Black Panther,
He's Killmonger.
and
Right.
Killmonger
Or
is
it
Black
shifts in a
Panther,
certain way.
right? And then now you could bring in Michael B. Jordan to be Black Panther. People wouldn't be mad at that. People love Michael B. Jordan, and you're not replacing T'Challa, and
Like
it
you just
goes
said,
good
if
story wise.
yeah, but like you just said, so if we get not even if, when we get Secret Wars, we can get stuff like that, right? Because
Hmm.
it will establish that, there's a bunch of things happening. There's a bunch of different worlds and multiverses coming together, different characters from multiverses coming together. So I definitely see that happening, and I wouldn't be mad if they do it that way, like we just said. I
Hmm.
think for Black Panther 2, for it to be the best way for me to be like, okay, they did it, right? We've been hearing Namor, right? That's the arch enemy, right? Why
Right.
didn't you help us when we needed help, right? We had that issue, right? Uh,
Hmm.
um, Earthquakes under the water, we had issues. You ain't come help. Well, I'm
So
gonna
just
come.
for real quick, just for those who are a little unsure who Neymar is, that's the Marvel's Aquaman.
Yes, yes. Basically, he's from
Okay.
Atlantis. They got an Atlantis. They got their own thing happening. It's
Okay.
cool, but yeah,
Continue.
he's you know what? He's Aquaman in the sense that he is the leader of his spot underwater, but
Hmm.
he's kind of like an arch. He's kind of he's kind of on the fringe. You know what I mean? He's kind
Okay.
of yeah. He's kind of something. He'll do nice things. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Let me remind. What's his name? Shazam and what's the other guy? Black Light. No. What's his name? What's Shazam's guy?
Oh, Black Adam.
Black Adam. Thank you. Listen, Clutch. That's why you're going. Chance, stop playing. Chance. You only get one. So listen. And merch coming soon. That's gonna be a fire ass shirt. Chance, you only get one. Stop playing with him. But listen, he reminds me of that, like an anti-hero in a sense. It was like, listen, I respect my spot. I love my people. If you're not these people, don't disrespect these people. I'm taking you out. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Okay.
same thing with him and Kandak or whatever, Kundak, whatever with Black Adam. So I feel like, imagine he was upset. Wakanda didn't help. I'm gonna come landslide, water, and destroy half of the city, right? And then they can say
Hmm.
that's how rest in peace. T'Challa got taken out. Now
Yeah.
what happens? Everybody's on the fringe. Everything's going crazy. Shuri got to come up. Now she's the lead, but now she's trying to get more. She got this. Is how I see it. She got to recruit more people. She got to get some backup, right?
Hmm.
Maybe the Avengers ain't she can't find no Avengers, so she go to MIT. She find the young Riri Williams, and then now you
Hmm.
got the female Iron chick. I think it's Iron
That's acceptable. That could happen.
Iron Lad,
I,
Iron Maiden,
Is
Iron Heart. It's Iron Heart.
Ironheart. Yes,
It's
yes.
Iron Maiden, but
I mean, there's Iron Maiden, isn't it?
well,
That's a
that's a
different
band.
franchise.
But
That's a
that's a
band.
band.
Is it a band?
That
Oh,
is a band. Shout out to
oh,
Iron Man.
okay.
But I think just overall, man, like I think the way they're going is fire. I can't wait for Fantastic Four. I think that's gonna be because John Watts is doing both. Fantastic Four, and he did the Spider-Man stuff. So I think,
Shout out to
listen, I'm
John
excited
Watts.
for that, man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to
What if he?
Watts.
What if we saw? What if we saw Chris Evans' version of Human Torch is one of the variants for
That'd be fire. Listen, I'm already invested in the. I'm already, and they could do that now. I'm already invested
they
in
can
the.
do that.
I'm already invested in the idea that they're fixing older properties by doing newer movies and writing them in. Keep
I
it
love
up.
that. I love
Keep
that.
it up.
That
Hey,
is
yo, if they
smart.
fix that, Fantastic Four. In their world, they're like real campy. Like everything about their world is real goofy.
That yes.
Yo,
That's super.
how
This is a
your man is flying around on fire, but people making jokes. It was kind of goofy. Homeboy
right.
was in the bar. Remember when he met the chick, the blonde chick, the thing had the
Yes.
girlfriend? He's just like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. MCU so damn smart. They just. I mean, they don't
I think
always
they
hit it
just have a
home.
good link. I feel like I literally could see a conference room with everything spanned
Yeah.
out, right? I could literally see that
Yeah.
conference room. And like, nah, this piece don't work. If a new piece comes up where they got a character they can use now, all right, boom, can we fit it here? And if it fits here, how does that trickle into the next? And so it's that type of
So
planning. DC messing up, and that's why, bro, you have to check out. My man's got to check out Peacemaker before we talk about Peacemaker. It's fire. I don't know if y'all watching it yet. Check that out. But they got
I'm gonna check
that.
it
They got
out.
some MCU energy over there. It's because of your man's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
James Gunn.
Yes, shouts to you, Swish, because that dude right there is killing it, man. And
Yeah.
you know what it is too. Like I said, he's bringing that energy, and he's bringing the type of planning that MCU had. Like this show will feed into a movie, and the movie will feed into the. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that for sure. But that's
So piggybacking on something you had just previously said, about you could see the whole conference room and everything laid out. Um, what you think that conference room was like? Well, Eternals.
It was one page. Nah, it was just this one. That shit was like this. All right. Nah. Yo, I stay talking. I don't care if I'm on the Instagram, on the Google Chance, TikTok. If I'm in Discord for an NFT project, people talking about how bad that movie is, and I feel like the problem is kind of like what the problem was with like Spider-Man 3, or with with Amazing 2. Like they
So too
tried to
much in one movie.
cram. Yeah, you're cramming too much. It's like 9 of y'all, and there's so much happening. I don't care about none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And so. And then on top of that, they're so OP. They're so powerful.
They are.
Then on top
Very
of that,
powerful.
you're telling me that there's this dude. There's just a big ass entity froze up in the water.
Anthem.
Fam, but nobody. Can I get a report? Can I see how regular humans are dealing with that some more? Like I don't know. Maybe again, when they make more content with them, those characters, it'll get better. But I think this is what made. This is what would have made that better. They gave us a crap movie. They should have gave like a 10 episode show
based on each character's story.
Come on, talk to me, because it's like 9 of them. You got to give me one episode in the beginning about how they got there, and then remember the scenes of them back in the day in that first fight that broke them up. That could be the whole first episode. Then everybody get their own episode of where they've been, how they've been changing, what's been affecting them. Now I got some time to sit here
idea.
And go like, okay, cool. All right, cool. I care about him. Oh, I see his plight. Angelina Jolie, her brain's broken. Why? I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, supposedly it's because of the weight of all her past lives culminating into one thing. It's like the eternal version of like what do you call it? Alzheimer's.
But now you caught that. How well was that explained? Because I didn't catch it. So that might be 50% of people didn't catch it.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, let me just start by saying that I didn't hate Eternals. It wasn't the best movie, obviously not, but I didn't hate it. I just actually seen it about maybe 2 hours ago. Like just to kind of,
I'll watch it before I watch one of the first Thor movie, and I watch it before I watch what's that other movie? What's the other guys from the moon?
Thor 2 as well.
Thor 2, yeah. I don't really like any. Just really the last Thor. The next Thor might be fire too, but
it is.
What's the other thing they bombed? It was kind of like the Eternals. Can't even remember their name. You won't get it. It bombed, and because they rushed it.
It was a part of it. It's one of the 22 movies.
It's one of the what?
24. It's part of the MCU.
It's part of the MCU, but it kind of was like it was such a fail that they kind of like, oh, it was bad, bro. I got you right now. We got it. Listen, it was so bad. Deadbolt, Black Bolt is one of them.
Oh, Inhumans.
It wasn't Humans bad. It's like
Humans sucked.
Yo, have some respect for yourselves, Marvel. Put some clothes on. You out here indecent. You know what it was? The quality. Like they were trying to boast how the quality, like IMAX, but it's like the wigs looked bad. Like the sets, the clothing.
Medusa's wig was horrible.
You know what I mean? It's like how you telling me I'm watching this in IMAX, but the wig looked like a Halloween mask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a cosplay outfit. Like y'all could do better than that. So they learned for their mistakes. Eternals wasn't bad. Yeah, go ahead. I don't think it was the worst movie. I think it was good. It's gonna be it's setting up some good stuff.
Yeah.
I wish they would have did like a breakdown. That would have been fire. Give me some more time so I could.
So you know what it was too? Why I after watching it again, I'm like, just giving it another chance. I'm looking at it like, okay, let's talk about the positive. There were some action sequences. Icarus was the closest to Superman we getting.
Action movie though. That's what's so funny. Like, let's think about the positive. There was some action sequences. There's action sequences in every action movie. But I'm with you.
I mean, okay, yeah, but all right. So
like in a sad film, yeah, there was some tense and some dramas. All right, there was some tense parts.
All right, I counter that with the first Thor movie. Now, the action sequences in that movie wasn't worth speaking about. Do you even remember any of the action sequences in that movie?
No.
Right.
My brain will shut things out that I don't want. Right. I'm like, I don't care about that.
That's my point. Every movie can't be said about that. Because you don't even, you know what I mean? So that's why I give credit when it's due with Eternals. The last couple of action sequences, Icarus versus the Speedy joint, I forget her name, but the one who's deaf, like that was cool.
Yeah, but she was cool. I just wish I could have seen more of them, man. It's like That's
Yeah.
why, you know what? So again, like go back to Spider-Man, like why did that work so well too? Is because we already had so much history. We had so much
Right.
like
Yeah.
time to see the
Mm-hmm.
Toby's character, to see all these characters, all Daredevil. Like it was like there was so much in the back. I'm like, oh, they do my man. So it was like I don't know none of y'all. I don't know you. Y'all came to the barbecue with your plate out, but y'all didn't bring no.
Right. Right. Right.
Where's the sodas, the cups? You ain't bring a pie or nothing.
Nah, so Spider-Man worked where Eternals failed because Spider-Man had the luxury of years of building from that foundation. You
Exactly.
know who Toby's an OG. Why? Because he's been around since 2001 being the original
You
Spider-Man.
could benefit from
Andrew,
knowing that's history.
right. Andrew already had two movies. Whether you liked his movies or not, he was Spider-Man for two movies, and you know
That
who the
first
hell
one was
he is.
fire. It's the solid,
I enjoyed it.
solid
The
reboot of a yeah.
Yeah, that was a great reboot to me. Like from the costume, from the action sequences in that movie with Spider-Man, like his web swinging, there was a lot of
Oh,
positive to say
ooh, son, there was some
about.
positive. His okay, the way his swinging, right? But also the way I don't know what I want to say about the costume, the fit of the costume, the aerodynamic. They was doing,
It was.
it was yeah, bro.
I know what you're
Like
talking about.
there
I
was a
know what you're
part
talking
I'm just
about.
thinking in my top of my head, like you know what I'm talking about, where he was
I know.
falling and it was it was the scene of his back, but the air and the
Yes, you could literally.
costume,
You talk about
it
that's the
was like
beginning of
yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man 2. You talking about
it was
when?
very realistic.
Yeah,
Okay, so the swinging and the costume work in that, yeah, I guess in the CGI, but it was
yeah.
clean, man. So I'm not mad
I
at
even
that.
like the web shooters. You could actually see like the device when he web swings. You could hear it, and it's like you could actually like a
He
button
was
that
a
or down to when he did the flip and he held one thing and threw the web to the other thing to make sure the guy doesn't touch the electrical. There's a lot of positive to take from Amazing Spider-Man that people are not appreciating.
That's why he said he was amazing. That's a fact. He gave him his
That
roses. He
I
gave him
love
his
that.
roses.
I love that he did that. You're amazing. You know that you're amazing. Yeah, yeah. I
Yo,
needed to
bro,
hear
it
that.
was so
Like
much.
that was
It was so
cool.
much of that. Like so much of like we're gonna take from these pieces in these movies and then instill it here, so that not only fan service, so that people that watch those things enjoyed it, but that it tied not our movies, but all these movies. Like, and so talking about this making me think like when we start watching or start seeing, the new Flashpoint. Like, yo, y'all
Mm.
got big shoes to fill, and I hope that DC starts getting it right. But it's like they don't have the benefit. Now, this is what DC has the benefit of. Like, yo, you go back to them other Batmans. Oh, that's some strong energy. Because
You
those
mean like
Batmans,
George Clooney and Adam West and
if they
Michael
bring every
Keaton,
Batman into
Val
this,
Kilmer? Yeah,
you gotta go hammy. They gotta do that. But hey, can you give me a list of every person that's ever been Batman ever? Yeah, and every Joker and every
they already
anybody.
got Keaton. You know, Michael Keaton's already supposed to be in
Yeah, he's on
Flashpoint.
board. So it's like you. But you know what? Yeah, man, it's really just about the long game and building something like it's hell. You can't sometimes you can't see the long game. Sometimes you're just throwing darts. Sometimes you
Mm.
just make a Mortal Kombat and hope they win another one. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just make a Sonic movie and hope for the best.
I actually think I'm gonna like the second one, but that's a whole nother subject. But
I'm gonna watch it but I'm gonna watch it so I could talk about it. But why I couldn't get a little? You couldn't put Tails in the first one. Now you're gonna double up and give me Tails and Knuckles because y'all played yourself the first time. I see the game. Okay, I see the game. I run the
so
game
watch the
too.
third one. Watch the third one be Shadow, because that's the one we all really want to see.
Bro.
Sha-
So
yeah.
okay, let's go off this deep end then. Third
Okay.
movie. If we got through a third movie of Sonic, that's what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
You saying that Knuckles on the team and they all got to fight Shadow? Because now you saying Eggman and Shadow is the team versus Knuckles, right? You know what they
Mm.
could bring up too? That'd be fire. Bring the ladies in. They
Amy would be
might
a
as well
good
do
choice.
that.
Yeah.
My son sometimes watches the Sonic, the animated joint, the one where they're all like living in the same house. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
bad. As a person watching over the shoulder, not bad, bro.
Yeah.
Knuckles is a goofball.
There's
He's not.
so many characters that they could bring in. I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring anybody in for the first one. Now that you
They
mentioned it,
playing it soft because they want to say like you want to breadcrumb me, like you want to, but it's
okay,
like
yeah,
make the best movie you can make, and then that's what it's got to be like. I feel like another thing too is like let's take Guardians of the Galaxy for an example. You take Suicide Squad for example. These are things that people don't really have any biases already about, like the characters. So it's like you benefit from doing something fresh and something. You could do whatever because I'm not tethered to seeing like, oh, I gotta see his dad die. I gotta see his parents die. I gotta see his right. We got
Right.
these expectations of a Spider-Man and a Batman and a Flash, like, and that could kind of mess with you too if you don't get it. Like even when we start talking about the Matrix, like we have expectations of like, yo, how fire is this? You can't. I expect it to be to continue the route, but it's like, yeah,
Don't
you
get me
almost
started on the
benefit from
Matrix.
doing something fresh. Like, give me a Mega Man movie. I never seen a Mega Man movie.
I would love to see a Mega Man movie. I
You
love
would
Mega
benefit
Man.
from that, maybe. We'll see if
I
they
would love to see
figure
a
that
Mega
out.
Man movie. They
You
need to
know,
do that soon. And it could even go. My favorite iteration of Mega Man was the Jack in one, the one where like that
because
was
we
my
a little,
favorite.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah, because that was kind of more our era. That would be
yeah,
fire too, because of the world as it is now. Like we're in this metaverse shit. We're in this Web 3D internet shit.
perfect,
Imagine they pick that up and like the whole idea
perfect.
is a kid that's like tapped in, he a
Who
hacker or
goes into
something.
the metaverse and becomes Mega Man as he jacks in,
Who owns that
and he
property? Warner Brothers?
no Capcom. That's
Capcom?
Capcom. I think
They'll
Warner
probably
Brothers
get with
because
Warner Brothers, or they might get
yeah,
with Sony. Either way, somebody listen, make that movie. Look at me, do that, okay? But make it the digital one because he's a hacker. Kid's a hacker, right?
perfect
Somebody he
transition.
gets hacked, but it's Mega Man. They start teaming up. He gets zapped, and then the rest writes
And
itself.
basically, so it's basically like a kind of like a Matrix. Like he walks around, people think he's normal, but once he jacks in and gets to the Matrix, he's Mega Man, and nobody knows his identity.
I remember him. He could do all type of wicked shit. Like it's when he's in there, he's basically unfuckwittable. Like
He's
he
Neo when he's in
cannot
the
be beaten.
Matrix.
Like
He's Neo in the Matrix. That's literally what it is. He can do stuff that nobody else can. He can
and
take
I could
everybody's
kind of see
power. Like
now. It
that.
depends on what. I mean, it'll probably be like PG or something. So kids could watch it. Everybody could watch it.
Yeah, it'll be PG.
So like the Pokemon movie was like PG. So it's like I can see it kind of being like Space Jam meets the Matrix. The feel of the new Space Jam, kind of
I
kiddish,
don't.
but an adult could watch it.
I hope they don't do that. I hope they make it at least a little bit because Mega Man story is a little dark in the beginning because the actual Mega Man died the character that's based off and they created the Mega Man in his kind of like they did with Astro Boy
Right, right.
and I liked Astro Boy movie. Astro Boy movie
I,
was cool.
bro, we should break that down because I don't even remember. I can't call
Watch
it.
that
I don't
and
remember.
we should talk about that. Astro Boy was actually pretty decent. It wasn't bad.
Yo, what's a movie that people like? I see so many people like, oh, that movie's crap, and I just realized that's a Zack Snyder movie, Sucker Punch. Like, yo, Sucker Punch is a good ass movie. I fuck with
Sucker
Sucker Punch.
Punch was a deep movie. That's a movie where people didn't like it because they probably didn't understand it.
Yo, and you know why? And that's the beauty, and it's just crazy. Like so you remember we following
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Pea the whole time. At the very
Mm-hmm.
end, what happens? Sweet Pea don't get out. The other girl get out.
Right.
Right? Your
Not
man.
realizing that she wasn't the main character the whole time.
And so
Again, you
now
have to
let's
understand the
let's
movie.
apply that to life, bro. Like when I think about like me and my man's with the music, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like there's times where it's like, okay, boom, like or not anytime, there's always a time. Like when it's him, he's the main character in his story. In your life, you're the main character, and I'm a supporting role. But in my life, I'm the main character, you're the supporting role. And so it's vice versa, but it's like it's all dependent on the perception of the
Your
story.
viewership, how you look at perception, exactly.
So it's like we spent this whole time as a viewer thinking that, oh no, this is the one, this is the main character, this is who we're following, just to be subverted at the end. Her be okay to sacrifice herself that the other person got out, and the story really be about somebody else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's life in the sense of like we all play a role in each other's story. You the main character in your story, and which with intent of having the best story you can, living the best life you can. But there are supporting roles and other people that benefit and help. Push this story along, type shit. And it's like,
Right.
yo, that's the dynamic of life and of storytelling. I thought the story was fine, but just people. Like, look how we, what I'm saying? That's what it is, fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's all our story if you think about it. That's facts.
Yeah. And it's we all follow our own story, like you said, and it's basically, it's all about how you look at it. Perception is everything.
Perception is everything, man. And you know what? That's why we're gonna do a whole list of movies that just perception list. One because those are my favorite vibes. Like, and I feel like that was the key of that. The perception was, it's all about this one person, but really It's not. It's really about us all. It's about the story that is taking place between the we, not just the me, the we. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then fucking Vanilla Sky is one of my favorite movies because at the very end, it's like he realized, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like the little things, like right, the consequences,
I
like the choices
haven't
we make.
seen Vanilla Sky yet. That's on my list. I have to watch Vanilla Sky. I remember you
Fam, you
telling me
see
about
Vanilla
that.
Sky? See
Nah,
that? I don't even like it because of Tom Cruise, bro. It's because of the, it's because of what the story is saying. Like the very end, like your man had it all, and he made one decision. One,
that's that's life, honestly.
that's life,
All it takes is one decision. All it takes is one decision to change the whole outlook of your life. Again, not
bro.
to go dark, but I talk real shit. So like that's like the difference between me deciding to stay home or me deciding to go outside. I stay home, I live. I go outside, I might get by a car. That's probably a lot of people's how a lot of people's life went. How you think about it, like damn, this person, like if a bank was robbed and you decided to go to the bank that day to to make a deposit, that's the end of your story. But if you just stayed home and said, I'll make the deposit tomorrow, your
And
story would
that's crazy
continue.
too about life. You just like the idea of like if you'd have left your house 5 minutes later, if something would have stopped you, you'd have got
Five
a
minutes.
call. If you'd have missed that call, like oh man, it's crazy, b.
That's why the butterfly effect was so intriguing to me, that movie.
That's a good ass movie too. That's a good ass
Yeah,
movie.
it
Even you know
was.
what, I'm gonna rewatch that. I'll probably put like yeah, that fits on that list, bro. Because yeah,
hmm I enjoyed that movie because of that. Because it really made I like movies that make you think. That movie made me think. Because after the movie was over, I thought back on my own life, like, damn, if I didn't make this move, would this had happened? Or what would have happened if I would have did this instead of this? Like movies that
big
make just
fact.
really make you think of that like that's a deep movie.
Like everything, I'm a big believer, bro, and everything happens for a reason. Like I remember, like fresh out of high school, I wanted to go to the school I wanted to go to like the audio school. My mother was like, "Nah, you gotta get out of my house, go try college upstate." So I went to a college I didn't want to go to for a year. Then I ended
Mm,
up or semester. Then I ended up living there for an extra few months, whatever. And I'm like, nah, I feel whack. I gotta go to the school I want to go to. So then two
mm,
years later, you know what I mean, down after the fact, I go to the school I want to go to, and I meet, my people. Now
mm.
LTY, what's up? So it's like everything happens for a reason. If I didn't take that year up to go over there, I wouldn't be where I'm at to have the people I have to do all the things I'm doing now in music and etc. Like, so I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and we're like components of that, and just our actions and our choices. Like, if you want to have a better, it's like they say like insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, right?
The
So
results,
it's
right?
like if you really want to change yourself, if you really want to build something, well, you got to put some momentum in. You can't possibly just sit there and do nothing because sitting there doing nothing ain't get you nowhere. So it's like we got to be bigger components of our own destinies in the sense that we could put that work in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
Yeah,
we desire, we could put that work. And it's the time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
And I even give you another example. I went to two different middle schools. I went to Frederick Douglass, eighth grade. I went there for 1 year. 1 year, I met Guru there for 1 year. Here we are, over 15 years later, doing a podcast together.
you
I was
feel
only here for
me?
1 year. Like I said, eighth grade has been a long time. It's like saying if I would have ended up going to, I don't know, like if I would have stayed in the middle school I was already in, like even if I didn't go to the high school I went to, because the high school I went to is where met a lot of some of my best friends, uh my girl, you know,
Right. It's like everything happened for a reason, right? What you would be
yeah,
so
yeah,
butterfly.
man. Like I just think that overall, like movies like that that make you think is something that I enjoy watching.